The next personality that I wish to invite on this podium is perhaps one of the most finest Muslim scholar who blends the traits of godly man and of a statesman. Over the past 3 decades, he has been the model of Iqbal's proverbial Mard-e-Momin, a man of faith who has been an exemplary figure and inspiration to God-loving Muslims, millions of them world over, from Pakistan to Middle East, from Middle East to Europe to America. He is the most influential scholar of our times with a brilliant mind. His wonderful ability and gift of masterful Quranic explanations, deep insights into the meanings of the glorious Quran, profound theological understanding, and the clarity of his thought, words, and speech have endeared him to masses, ordinary and elite. Professor Tahir Qadri captures the hearts and the minds of his listeners as he expounds divine truth in the ringing cadence of a great revivalist preacher. He speaks with authority, with passion and clear arguments. The results are highly effective. People are moved. It's this passionate and uplifting preaching that has endeared Shaykhul Islam, Professor Tahir Qadri, to the masses. His words, both spoken and written, have inspired incredible loyalty in millions who have embraced the beautiful, the peaceful message of Deen. He has been a spiritual light that has illuminated hearts with divine consciousness and the love of Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is a portrait of holiness that gives people enthusiasm and motivation to practice the values of peace and tolerance. Professor Tahir Qadri has been a great role model for our scholars and our leaders as well. He has energy, and his rigor of scholarship has in fact breathed a fresh air, it has been a breath of fresh air in the circles of Islamic scholarship that is reminiscent of the likes of Imam Abu Hanifa, the likes of Rumi, the likes of Shah Waliullah rahmatullah alayhi. He serves as an incredible bulwark to defend the prestige of scholars, the values of Islam, and the message of the Quran and Sunnah. I am in awe of his strict discipline, and this is really important. Discipline is what makes great leaders, what makes great people, and this is what really distinguishes Islam. It is a religion of great discipline. As I said, I'm really in awe of the discipline that Professor exercises, rising early in the morning, before dawn, spending hours in sajda, before his breakfast, then spending his day teaching, lecturing, meeting, supervising various projects. One is really astounded by his sheer hard work, enthusiasm, and the unbounded energy. He's a decisive and an audacious and a bold leader who talks tough to political leaders and to religious leaders as well. Possibly like Sheikh Ahmad Sarhandi, who challenged the tyrant of his own time, the Mughal Emperor Akbar. Consequently, he does not duck the difficult issues. And that is what really endears him to me as well, that he is really so bold. There have been several examples where he has challenged conventional wisdom, and of course got into serious trouble. But Professor Tahir Qadri knows very well that some in the old guard worry that he's too modern, he's perhaps too political, but he believes that they are out of touch. Here we can mention the most audacious fatwa ever against terrorism and suicide bombing, which is the scourge of our times. This is a very detailed, carefully argued a categorical fatwa that demonstrates the unlawfulness of terrorism and proves beyond doubt that anyone who is involved in such heinous crimes is a Khariji, beyond doubt, and is beyond the pale of Islam. This powerful fatwa has earned Professor Tahir Qadri praise from Muslims and non-Muslims alike. In conclusion, really it is not easy to imagine a portrait of a man full of patience, self-sacrifice and discipline. We're really very lucky and very grateful that we have amongst the Muslim scholars a man of such caliber, a leader of such insight. His track is really impressive. I invite Shaykh al-Islam, Professor Dr. Tahir Qadri.
This is very brief address, and it is a welcome address for honorable guests and all of you who are participants of the conference. I'll come again inshallah after collective peace prayer for my regular speech. This is just for welcoming you. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Eminent guests, honorable shuyukh, scholars, faith leaders of various religious orders and denominations, especially the president of Jamiatul Azhar and vice president of World Association of Al-Azhar graduates, and official delegates of Al-Azhar, and representatives of different governments, members of parliaments and the House of Lords, community leaders and representatives, dear elders, and particularly my beloved youth, my brothers and sisters in Islam, and my dear brothers and sisters in humanity, I extend to you a warm welcome and many, many congratulations for attending this conference today, organized by Minhaj-Ul-Quran International, the Peace for Humanity Conference at Wembley Arena. I hope and pray that all of you, whether Muslim or non-Muslim, will join us today in this special session of the collective interfaith peace prayer for humanity and for the whole of the world. After this welcome address, we will pray for all good things, and we'll pray for a better world for us and for our future generations. A world of mutual love, a world where we can live in an atmosphere of peaceful coexistence, where we can uphold human values and ensure the rights of the oppressed and unfortunate. A world where we all can live with respect and dignity, and a world where we can feel safety, peace and security. Unfortunately, that peace was tragically and dramatically shattered by the terrible 9/11 bombings. It placed Islam under unprecedented scrutiny and triggered a largely negative reaction towards Muslims. The acts of a few criminals against humanity may be wrongly in the name of Islam, having absolutely no link, concern and relationship with Islam. But unfortunately, their reporting by the electronic and print media all over the world caused ununderstandable disgust and revulsion among the majority of the people. Over this last decade, this event, together with subsequent atrocities, has continued to color the perception of the general public about Islam. In spite of statements and memorandums in condemnation of the terror and the voices of the 99% true peace-loving Muslims have not been heard, but have been drowned out by the clamor and noise of the extremists and terrorists, causing the rest of mankind to wonder, how could the Muslims have been so silent? How are they totally non-committal about condemning the terrorists? This was very unfortunate. The silence was broken last year through the announcement of 600-page fatwa against terrorism and suicide bombing, and through continuous al-hidayah de-radicalization camps of youth, and continuous academic, theological and philosophical efforts to condemn terrorism and try to change the mindset of youth, and follow-up tours and seminars and lectures and conferences worldwide on peace and integration, which were arranged by Minhaj-Ul-Quran International and by international organizations, by different universities, think tanks, and this work is continuing, God willing. Extremism and terrorism over the last decade has torn apart the communities, staked enmities. They have stoked the enmities and put up barriers between people and split humanity apart. How many families, men and women, elders and children, have been decimated by these mass killings? How many women have become widowed? How many children orphaned? How many people have become destitute and homeless, without hope and living without means, living in the darkness of future, living without security of peace in their life? Human life has been deprived of its sacredness. To these people, I mean the extremists, the terrorists, the killers of mankind, human life is expendable and of no value. They see it as their God-given right to kill and exterminate the people. The same human life, which was the most sacred of the divine creation, has become the least valued. Terrorism has removed the smiles from the face of millions of innocent people of the world. Where once we used to see happiness, there is now only pain and sorrow and nothing else. Hearts have become full of hatred, and bodies are burning under the fire of hatred. The doves of peace have been slaughtered by the highness of cruelty. Terrorism has driven human beings apart from each other in order to create an atmosphere of suspicion, distrust, confusion, hatred among them, so that they can never get united.